Alright, just to be very blunt here, this isn't going to be a very good game of the day. I don't have time to really record many matches, and I wanted to show you a fresh air one. I did a Firebrand one earlier in the day and a terrible Coliseum game. So this is just going to be a snowball victory for me and my team. But there are a couple of plays we can talk about, and I know you guys like the fresh air games. I'm really out of practice on fresh air, by the way, and quite a few, well, not quite a few, a couple of different builds are shuffling around. So we'll see. Anyway, what you're going to notice about our comp here, and believe me, I was considering swapping, but it's ludicrously power-oriented, all right? So it's a core thief, and I think that means he's going to be like high pressure, like bursty, right? Anyway, we have double core guard Reaper fresh air rally. So this is one of those compositions that we either win straight away with a big victory that like wipes the enemy team and we can keep snowballing. And it's the most snowbally map in the game, by the way, so it's an okay place to have this comp. Or we really struggle. It's also one of those games where we might have a 300-point advantage and then the entire thing collapses and we lose it. So I'm going to show you how I play and my mindset for a game like this.
Hold on to your points. Seize theirs.
And so let's run on out and see how we do. Looking first of all at mid, excuse me, we pop our heal there just for an extra bit of swiftness. That's obviously damage, and you know, it's just nice to keep the swiftness there. This will be back up before it's particularly relevant. I probably should have done a bit earlier, to be honest. And again, let me restate, I'm pretty out of practice with fresh air. So I'm hiding here because I don't want to get burst, and I'm also holding position with my team. Now, one of the core guards has gone ham, and I wish I had thought about this harder. I wish I was ham in there as well. I've shown you on multiple games of the day. You know, if I was there with that supplementary burst, the opponent would be dead right now. The person that he's burst as well is a Revenant, who's going to damage reverse. And so when I take target here, I notice that he's in Glint. He's in Dragon Stance. And he can as well do the damage reversal with no cast time. He can just do it instantly. So me chancing a burst on him here is a pretty bad idea, or it's a very ballsy thing. It's for me to believe he has very low reaction times. And to be honest, we're not at that level of matchmaking right now when we're at Plat 2 and above. We're kind of not. So he's going to notice. Anyway, so I notice he uses his hammer 3, which is an evade, and you can kind of treat it like any others. Go for a CC at the end of it. So I CC. He dodges the CC. Now, I'm actually happy with that dodge. Now, the reason I'm happy for that dodge is if you're a Rev and you have your Glint prepped and you've just been CC'd by fresh air early, 999 times out of 100, out of 1,000, out of 100, they will use their heal. So he dodges this, and I'm actually all right with that. My timing wasn't very good, and I'm okay. What this is the timing I utilized this ability was actually as though it was instacast, because I've been playing too much Mantra Mesmer recently. Anyway, so we go for that, and he just evades, and I'm happy. So I just chanced the burst anyway, and he damage reverses. So I've been extremely low impact and done basically nothing. If anything, I've just healed the opposing team. And we're a very squishy comp. Luckily, because we took the early pressure, the enemy team's offset a little bit, so I really love what the core guard did there. He kind of recognized we had to push hard and kind of put our balls on the table. So the fight is now putting off. The target is still on the Rev, and I'm going to continue pressuring this because the target's on this. IMO, you know, I put him back to 33% health. But what I'm wondering right now is anyone actually in position to target this with me and to take this burst with me? Because no one's really around anymore. So I've done that, and I've got this guy, but now I've changed. This is really weird. What the hell? Look at the animation of this character. It's like they're laying down. That's so strange. But having done this, I'm now looking at the fact that my Necro is getting bodied, and you're going to see something beautiful here from me and this Reaper. Mostly the Reaper, okay? So look at how low the Reaper is. Look at what he's turned up against. We're going to swell to cover ourselves from behind as well, just in case there's any silliness. And we are going to help provide pills for the Reaper. So the Reaper gets his GS4 up and goes into Shroud. And immediately cleaves this poor bastard out. While I pressure the other core guards, I splash some might on him here. He probably doesn't need it. Let's watch him play. No, he did need it. Okay, good. That was an alright play. I gives him some might. This guy, I make a mistake. Basically, he's in focus 5. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll just shatter through the focus 5. And that's actually a defensive play in my mind because my Reaper's really low on health. And what I want to do is break the focus 5 so that it doesn't explode and kill my Reaper. So I go really ham and I do a lot of pressure. But he was in renewed focus and focus 5. And I wasn't looking at the fact he was in his elite. So I actually plasma beam into nothing there. It's pretty bad gameplay. But they've created a gap. This guy probably should have stood with the Reaper and whatnot. So now we can pressure over the body and deal extra cleave. I throw a Phoenix out onto the body, and I'm like so hard right now because basically this guy's wandered into it through the Phoenix. And so we kill the core guards, cleave the body, and I've paused a ton here. But the kills, as they've just exploded through on our team. You notice all the way over here, my team scored something. Remember the burst I took on this character earlier before turning my attention to my outnumbered Reaper to equalize it in the 2v2 off the side here? This guy was finished off by the person we were off near. So if you actually look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead red players. They didn't score a single kill. We globaled them. So it's really kind of a beautiful opening and a fun team fight. But here's the thing. As I said, I'm very much concerned right now that we can wipe, right? Because this is going to be not a secure lead. The thing is, where we've wiped them all pretty much at an identical time as well and not bled them much. I mean, I bled where I could, I'll just say. We've got 1 bleed. The point is they'll all respawn together, and we kind of just have to have a repeat of last time, and it could swing in the other direction next time. So I'm concerned about that. As for my positioning, I get on the ledge and look towards far. My thief's already decapped, so he's done his role perfectly. I don't have to go towards there. With him having decapped, I'm going to stand on this ledge here to watch enemy respawns. I wasn't sure if anyone had slipped through yet, and I don't know whether to trust this guy's movement. Because theoretically, he should have already seen and he'd be pushing. So I'm checking that there. And now basically we're just watching the respawns on the gate. The thief can full cap if he wants or leave. The point is I'm just going to be defensive here for a second. We're watching respawns. And if the enemy team goes for a regroup on close, then we're going to team fight off on the left in a second. And that's what we're going to watch for. What I don't want is my team to throw by all trickling into far, which is actually what it looks like they were doing for a second here, because my core guard goes to meet my thief, but the thief bails out and they both move, which is perfect. So you see now this is the line the team fight I was talking about a second ago. So the enemy, I mean, we got a guy in there pretty deep. Is he DD Condi then? Is that what he's doing? How is he trolling around over there? So anyway, this is going on over here. What I'm noticing is this enemy core guard. Do you remember the guy we got the lucky Phoenix on a second ago, or sort of semi-lucky? Basically, he has massively overextended and should have gotten himself killed. Against double core guard Fresh Air Ellie, he moved all the way up here. It's a terrible play. And I really wanted to punish that very hard. So I come and I start, you know, hounding, but my team isn't with me on this. And now that he's pulled back, he's no longer overextended. There's no way I'm going over this line. Here I'm standing here, no valid pathing him, but he takes a really nice target back here. So kind of gets behind my back. But that makes him overextended again, so I'm looking for him again for the kill. But now there's the Rev here, so I drop Swelling Winds to deflect the Rev, and now we're punishing the overextend. Okay, so, again, I mentioned on the last episode with Signet of Mercy, my whole keybind thing. This is really messed up. I keep doing weird situations where I'm not casting this properly, and this is one of them. So, anyway, I pull back because I've been focused forward as well. We have to be very careful. And here's the next fight is now established. We're live. There's a 1v1. I need to, you know, I've baited a couple of cooldowns, but I need to get up. So I lightning flash into the fight. Extremely ballsy. But I know I have no aggro right now, and we have to do more pressure to them before they do it to us. There's nothing more intelligent going on here. There's no supports or anything. So I take the plasma beam on their target. You know, someone else had targeted this. So I kill this with a core guard who used the GS2. So we get the first down again. You'll also notice this guy's very low. Arcane Wave. So now there's lots of res potential. So this is actually Bloods. In theory, kind of counters what we do, but we are so exaggerated in that direction of power pressure that it's going to be hard. So seeing the Blood getting ready in the Transfuse, I'm casting Fiery Greatsword. So this is very, you know, it's close. We got to get this hard. So I cast the 5. I actually missed the 5. I cast that back where the body was before, which is pretty lame, to be honest. And I probably look like I'm very slow-brained there, but this all happened in a moment's notice. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 3 through the body, which will do big damage. I'm going to cast the Arcane Wave on the body. We only have a tiny little bit before he reses it. And when I get the crits from that, I'm going to double airstrike it. So he goes up to like maybe 97, I think I saw for a second there. And with all that stuff said and done, we do manage to blast it down. The Arcane Wave as well. We get an 8k FGS4 on this body. And we get the 2 kills along with our team. And with that, we got 1 core guard left alive. funnily enough, the guy that overextended at the start. So I know he's actually going to this jump here. But I don't want to drop my FGS or whatever. If I had more confidence to do this without the super speed here, I would make this jump and Greatsword 3 him into the wall, and it would have been so beautiful. I don't go for that play. I just try and catch him in air. But the thing is, he jump dodged to the location. You don't actually have to jump dodge to that. I guess he wasn't confident, so he jump dodged, which is amazing. This is this is a bad game because the enemy team's not going to come back in this. But I wanted to show you this play, all right? This is almost like a bonus clip, right? I think that's amazing. The evade frames from the jump dodge saved him from melee pressure in mid-air. Can we just talk about how cinematic that was? That's awesome for him. So cool. Anyway, he's dead anyway because he can't do anything and I have range, so I just plasma beam him. But it was very cool and I like that a lot. So here, my rotation is they're going to push for the snowball there and they're going to kill that. But we shouldn't all do that. So I'm the only person who sort of my build is not meant for this role that you're now watching me do. It's not at all. But I'm the only one that's sort of stuck around and tried to create some balance in our rotations. I didn't want him suddenly self-resing later. I don't know. I think in truth I was actually bored. And I wanted to get used to casting more Flame Walls since that's something I didn't do very much. Anyway, so yeah, I'm watching these two nodes and the respawn, obviously we know people are going to trickle through. So it's the Rev. So I have to take a 1v1 here. Luckily, this is a hammer rev, which is not meta. So I go for the Immob first into a Fracturing Blast. So that's, like, not our main burst. That's our, like, establishment burst. He immediately starts to get damage reversing, so I stow weapons. I'm standing in Swirling Winds, so he can't auto me or anything. Then I see the Hammer 3, so I evade the Hammer 3. He wasn't even in range for it. At the end of the Hammer 3, I knock him down. There, I did a ton... Okay, so let's rewind that. We knock him down at the end of the Hammer 3. So, I Plasma Beam. The idea of a Plasma Beam is to get at least one crit on it so that you can go into Air Attunement and double strike. He's dead. I've won this fight. I've played perfectly. No crit, no crit, no crit, no crit. What is that? That's like a 3k Plasma Beam. Finally, we get a crit and we go in. But, oh my god. I could have Arcane Waved earlier, but the truth is I felt like this was such a sure kill. There was really no need to waste this. This is too important for a blind or a super speed reset or an Immob or whatever later. So I didn't cast that. So he actually sustains. I don't know. There's not a rev thing that stops you being a crit through Jarlis, is there? It was just like really good luck for him. That's why I used to run intelligence on this build, by the way. And maybe an example for why I should go back to it. Of course, you don't always guarantee it's intelligent. Anyway, he sustains it. I really don't like lightning flashing for the kill, but I go for that there because it felt necessary. Then I was going to stomp him with the arcane shields, and then I realized, oh, I can just bleed this. So what I've done here is really important. The good play is not the 1v1. The good play is knowing to stay back and hold eyesight over the... I've actually secured 66% of the map here by winning this 1v1 and bleeding this body. Very, very, very important. It promotes a continued stagger for my team who are just snowballing over there. This was really important. It was risky. You shouldn't have a fresh air do this. You should have a, you know, a boon beast or something do this, a side noder. So then he goes for a self-res, so we're going to interrupt. He cancel casts anyway as I get close, so I don't actually have to cast the wall. There you saw I had my cursor further away from the body, but the wall landed perfectly on him anyway. Oh, and here I use the evade as well, the fire-water mix, which is very rare. I was happy to do that, and I even water-tried it myself. Still not getting used to Shatterstone on Weaver. Shatterstone I use a lot on Core, but not on Weaver. Anyway, so now there's a respawn coming in and I need to be aggressive on it because the body. So I push really hard. Now this is kind of awkward because the terrain is in a shitty place. And it's a Mesmer. So this is one of the new builds. I'm going to lose a 1v1 here. This is one of the new builds, sort of, that people are running a bit more now. It's Scepter. So you're going to see some... I was playing Berserker recently, as you guys all know. Mace main hand. Now when you block with the skill 2 as a warrior on Mace main hand, you get one block, and that's it. Everything else just disappears, okay? Everything else hits you, sorry. You get one block, and then the channel of the animation is over. One block. For Scepter, though, and I'm more than familiar with this, because I was playing a lot... You've seen me on Scepter and Mesmer recently. Well, not recently. Earlier in this season, at least, though. You take the block... Actually, that might be ages... No, you take the block, and then you get, like, evade frames afterwards. So, he completely mitigates a lot of damage there. And I just think... I don't know. Maybe it's... It just feels like the Mesmer the Mesmer balance has always had so much more quality of life and luxury than everyone else. So anyway, he hits me really hard, and I've not even been able to touch him yet, but a million packets of damage have come in on me, and ugh, it's just nasty. So anyway, Fracturing Blaster mode. Cleanse very quickly. He gets a really nice preemptive Chaos Storm on me here, which actually does a lot because it interrupts my air auto attack. I obviously Flesh Panic really early. So right now, what's going through my mind is I don't know how sturdy or sustaining this is. It could potentially die. I think I can beat this a lot. I just have no real experience with it. Swirling Winds can stop a lot of these Scepter clones as well. So maybe the play was to do that a bit earlier. By the way, you saw I got a really nice Twist of Fate. All of his pistol shit a second ago. Anyway, he's low, but I'm too low already myself. I mean, that was a kill. He was primed for a kill there, but I was just so low so fast. Kind of ugly. What we do with this, though, at least, is we prevent a decap, we prevent a res, and we bait a low health person into my team that's now come back from the snowball. So if I'd 100% cleanly won that 1v1, and look at all the just the invuln and just... if I'd won that very cleanly, we would have been... pretty much 100% clear on this game, but I created a bit of volatility there by not killing that too well. I don't really know why I'm pressuring that body, so I stop. I get rogued. I thought he was behind the tree and obstructed, and that's the game pretty much now, guys. So I really don't have much to talk about, except that you know, I've had such a long break from fresh air. Once again, I'm in that situation where I feel like it's really cool. It's like, oh, I can do damage again. Woo! I don't know how many games I'll get in before I'm utterly bereft of enthusiasm for the build again and just completely hating on it and just like feeling like it doesn't have enough impact again. I go through cycles. The main reason I'm playing fresh air today is when I'm in practice, I do think I'm pretty good at this build. And one day I hope that the balance does slowly keep favoring a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more fresh air. Just a little bit. So I'm hoping that over time it will, every new meta, I want to still be somewhat on the ball with it. Here, by the way, he was against the wall, so I was trying to fiery greatsword because it would be such an epic kill. But then I saw that he was in the middle of his heal and his break bar was available, so I stokecast my FGS in order to Gale to get the break bar so that he wouldn't heal. And now I'm sad that I can't FGS because they're going to stomp it, so I'm going to try. And yeah, we barely get it. So yeah, anyway. Here you go, fresh air. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. A short game of the day for once. I'll see you tomorrow.